Come in with the energy where you feel confident, you feel calm. As I said, energy is everything. It's how you're gonna help the people, and the money will come in. When you bring that energy, when you add value, when you care about people. I sold 6 homes in just 36 days, and today I'm gonna tell you how I did it and how you can do it too. I'm gonna start creating content to help agents because thankfully I've been blessed in this industry and I do have ongoing transactions all the time. So I have agents that ask me, how do I get my listings? How do I get clients? And many times I will give resources and then they end up either not calling the client or not following through or making excuses why they can't do it. So today I'm gonna share with you 6 easy steps to start off with your mindset and make sure that you are able to get those listing appointments and then close the deal. The first step I want to talk about is having a warrior mindset. Owning that shit. Owning your purpose and owning why you're going there for that appointment. So many times people don't really know their why, or why are they going to the appointment, who they're meeting with. They go there, they go very nervous. Agents oftentimes blow it at the first time. So confidence is key. You have to be confident. You have to walk the walk, talk the talk, and present yourself as a winner. When you first go into the appointment, you have to feel like you already have it, right? So eliminate any self-doubt. Sometimes when we go in, we do something new, or we're meeting a client, or it's a listing that's an expensive property, we start having fears, or we start hesitating and thinking that maybe we don't deserve the listing or someone else is going to come through and get it. You start second guessing yourself. And it's important to really think about it before you go into the listing, before the appointment. For me, it's a morning routine where I have a vision for my day. Whenever I have an appointment with a client, when I walk in there, I already feel like I've already walked in there because I prepared myself mentally in the morning or whenever it is. I show up strong, provide that energy so people feel your energy. And when you walk into a listing appointment, it's the same thing. They feel your energy, so they know that you're already coming in nervous, right? So they might ask you questions to create more nervousness, or they don't trust you already. So you have to dress the part, come in with that sense of ownership, and also come in with the energy where you feel confident, you feel calm. When I walk into a place, I want people to feel comfort and feel like everything's gonna be okay. As I said, energy is everything. When you are in a relationship, whether it's with a family member or your spouse, your kids, coming with the positive energy, coming with solutions, are grateful to be there, having a gratitude mindset. All these things really matter. So it's really important that you recognize that and treat your client as such. Come in with that energy, come in feeling positive about the situation. People have told me before, I feel really good when you're here. I feel safe. I feel like you're gonna have my back. Thankfully, I found you. So many agents that were coming after me, and now I feel like I have someone who's on my team who has my back. So putting your energy in a positive place before you see them. If you get worked up, maybe it's a challenging client. Bring it back, ground yourself. I've had clients that are very challenging or family members that hate each other, and then they put me in the middle, and I have to remove myself from the situation and think from an outside mind. What they're going through has nothing to do with me. What can I do to, instead of add more fuel to it, take away that negative energy? For me, that number one, having a warrior mindset is key, and that energy is for yourself, for your clients, is to start off the transaction in a positive way. Nothing really affects you, and they see that, and they'll be able to trust you because trust is everything during a transaction. And many of my clients become my friends because they trust me. They know I'm going to follow through. They know that I know what I'm doing, but I bring that positive energy and I'm owning the situation, and I'm going to lead them towards success. So for me, number 2 is being prepared. Being prepared is understanding what you're getting into. I don't know if you ever walked into a listing appointment and felt blindsided by a question. Maybe the client asked you a question about another comparable and you weren't aware of that. Or maybe they asked you about taxes. I've had that question before. Or maybe they asked you about your experience. Have you sold in that area before? Being really prepared and having those answers for them. That's the number one reason why a lot of agents don't get the listing, because they're not prepared and they they don't know how to answer a question. And sometimes you could also say, let me get back to you. Let me get that information. That's a great question. But it's really important to be there, be prepared. And that means understanding the market. So I always do research on the market trends. I see what's happening in that area. I look up the community that the property is located at. I look and see their value. Sometimes it's written, if there's an HOA, I look at the documents in advance. I look at the news in relation to that area. I look and see what other agents are working that area. If there's different topics that might be a discussion, for example, they have tenants. The tenant laws are different depending upon the county. So I look up at the tenant laws before I go there. The restrictions, making sure that before you go into that appointment, you also know about those things. And look at the top agents in that area. What are they doing? How can you use that knowledge to help yourself out and to better understand what's happening in that community? And understanding the cost of different things. For example, inspections, if you're going to get property inspections, repairs, staging. Before you go to the appointment, reach out to those companies, those vendors, and ask them, how much will you charge me for this? Or look it up online, or bring in already the information as to how much those things will cost. And you're going to know that they're looking for answers, or they're looking for guidance. So you're the one that understands that. There's so many ways that you can find solutions to make sure that you're prepared for any question. Program yourself and talk to yourself before going into that appointment to make sure that you already have those answers. Number 3, be the expert. So for me, being the expert means showing them why and me. Here's the truth. Clients don't just want an agent. They want the best. And if you can prove why you are the best, you are the go-to expert, they will not go with someone else. Some agents try to wing it and just show up, and because they've sold so many properties, or maybe they have a huge team and they don't prepare themselves. And you don't want that to be you. So in the next couple minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to position yourself as an authority so your clients can see why you're the only choice. And trust me on this. This truly matters. So for me, being an expert in my realm, in my specialty, probate and trust, that means being educated, going to trainings, participating in different state planning committees or councils, being a part of programs that are related to the specific specialty that I have. So if, for example, you are an expert at first-time home buyers, going to trainings that have to do with that, making sure that all that information is listed on your resume so people know that you are the expert, making sure that your reviews online say that you are the expert in that area, and positioning yourself as an authority. If you look at some of my content and some of my information, you'll see that people have called me the probate queen, or people think that I'm an attorney because I talk about this so much. I talk about probate and trust. It's very important to do that, right? Use social media, use testimonials, use your stories, videos, touch on that topic, because you want to be known for that. Many people come in and they want to be the experts of everything, which is really not possible, right? So you have to position yourself in a way that people know you for that. If you want to help people, you have to communicate that, right, with confidence. Let them know that you understand what you're doing, you own it, you are the expert, and they will make a poor decision if they don't choose you. I've had clients that have looked at my YouTube videos or go to my Google reviews and see that I'm an expert in this field, so they will pick me already before they have talked to me. They already trust me based off what's written about me from other people. So you educate your clients also along the way. When I have a listing appointment, I will let them know all of my qualifications and my skills, all of my background and experience, so they know that I'm going to be valuable because they see it, they hear me talk about it, and they meet me, they feel my energy, which is what I talked about. So you have to be the expert. You have to really know your stuff. Don't follow other people and try to do what they're doing. Do it your own way so they see the value in you. When I go to a listing appointment, I show off all of my expertise. I show off my background working at the courthouse. I show off being a member of all these associations and trainings that I've done, and being a mentor, right? So you have to, that's your time to shine in a way that you want people to know why you're the expert and why you bring value. And if you do that, you will get the listing. Number 4. So for me, one of the main things that has been really helpful is never comparing myself to other agents or speaking negatively about them. Have you ever heard an agent trash talk their competition? That's a big mistake. And I have seen it, I have heard it, I have been a victim of it, and I want to share why I think it's a huge mistake and you should not be doing it. If you do trash talk someone or say negative things about your peers, about other agents, clients can feel that desperation and the negativity, and trust me, I don't think anyone wants to work with an agent who seems desperate and wants to trash talk other people, because that means they're insecure. And I'm going to show you how to stand, own your value without ever having to put someone else down. So for me, integrity wins in the long run. If you badmouth someone else, it can come back to you. So never do it. Never talk about others. It looks unprofessional. If a client asks you about another agent, you could stay in your lane. Desperation literally kills deals. But clients could feel that energy. So for me, speaking from a place of abundance is the best thing to do. When I go into a listing appointment, I'm not looking at the dollar amount. I never look at the dollar amount and think about how much am I going to make. I always think about adding value and how can I help this person. I don't go in with that energy, with that idea. I never count how much I'm going to make until it's actually closed deal, because you never know what's going to happen. So for me, if a client asks me about a different agent, I shift the focus, redirect them. How can I be the agent for you? And bring it back, write the conversation back to me and how I can be selected. I've asked before, how can I be the one selected? And they've told me before, I want you to pay for my inspection, or I want you to communicate with my family member so I don't have to, or send my belongings to a different state. Things that I didn't even know that they needed, but once I've asked them, they can tell me. It's really important to communicate and ask them. I've had one client, for example, that called me one day and said his friend saw that I listed the property and told him I wasn't a good realtor, which I've never worked with him in the past, so I have no idea how he would know, and that he should fire me. The client should fire me and should hire him, and he was going to charge him less, and he was better to work with than I was. And my client, of course, came back to me, right, having the trust and that positive energy and owning my stuff, being the expert. He trusted me, so he came back and told me about it. He came back and reassured me and said, I would work with you no matter what. He's talking poorly about you. That's not appropriate, so why would I want to work with him? So it's important to just don't make negative comments. It's happened before with other agents, and I never respond with something negative. And I've gotten a few listings like that. So especially if you're busy, people are looking at how much you're doing and they're going to desperately try to take that listing from you. So stay in place and don't speak negatively about anyone. So number 5, follow-ups. Some agents don't follow up. Instant gratification. They want the listing now, they want to close it. Some of my listings have lasted like ongoing case, probate, and then we sold the property maybe 3 years. So many agents lose the listing because they give up. And the reality is 80% of deals close after the 5th follow-up. Yet most agents just follow up once or twice. And that's why people are not closing deals, because there's other agents like myself that are following up, whether it's every other week or every month, every 3 months. If I know the probate case and is gonna take long, every year, I still follow up with clients. You have to keep people engaged so they know that you're there to provide resources. You're there to help them. You can follow up via text. If they don't answer your text, you can call them. You can mail them, you can email them. If you have that connection, you can go to their house. If there's anything else that you can do to help them, maybe they're not ready to sell, but they need help moving. Connect them with the vendor, maybe a contractor. It's really important to think about them. You have to be unforgettable so they know that you're there to help them no matter what. You just don't know how any relationship might go. You just don't know. So you have to treat everyone with value and respect, no matter what. Some of my updated texts for people, it's like, hey, now I'm a part of this organization. Now I'm a broker. If you want me to help you, now I joined this team. Now I'm doing this. I would love to help you whenever you're ready. Or, hey, I hope you're doing okay. I noticed that the weather was horrible, or something happened in your city. How's everything going? There's so many ways that you can do it. It doesn't have to be so specific to the point. You can just be human, right? I had agents that asked me for help, and then when I ask them how many times did I follow up, they say none. How can someone hire you if you're not there to be hired? Someone else will take that opportunity. That's happened to me. where I come in 3 years later and the person was just waiting for their agent. In fact, I'll give you one of my great ones. When I first started, I met a gentleman who was disabled. He lived in Milpitas, the house was in San Francisco. The previous broker or agent took his house key, didn't reach out for years. And when I came into the picture, I reached out to the agent. I said, give me back the house key. First of all, I think their listing agreement had expired, or I don't even think they had one in place. So this agent just sat on the key and didn't do anything. I was able to sell the house within 6 months because they had to go through probate and some other things. So you can be the one to sell it, to close it, but you have to follow up. Another example, there's a gentleman who reached out to me because his go-to agent just didn't call him back. Like, he's been trying to get a hold of her for months. And because he had tenants, she felt like there was no way that he can get rid of the tenants based off the county that the property's in. He got rid of the tenants. She's still not answering his phone calls. So he reached out to me, we put it on the market. Again, if you're not following up, someone else will, or they're gonna reach out to someone else. And when they find someone like myself, hopefully like yourself, that adds value, that follows up, that communicates, that wants to get the deal closed, that wants to sell the property, I'm not letting it go. Like, once he's my client, I'm gonna make sure that it goes through and everything goes well for him. And then in the end, of course, I get paid. It's our job to add value and to make sure that we're the expert, that we're bringing the energy, and that we're closing the deal. I'll give you another example. My first one was in Stockton, California. It was literally one of the smallest ones that my brokerage where I worked at had seen. In fact, they were laughing at me because it was like 114K. The agents from that area didn't want to get rid of the tenants and waste their time. And the seller had given up and said, it's a done deal. Like, I'm gonna let it go. I don't really care. It was another probate. So I said, let me help you. I went, spoke with the tenants, found them a home, cleaned up the property, and sold it. Double-ended. I represented the seller and the buyer. At work, at my brokerage, people were laughing because it was such a small amount to them. To me, it was a good deal. I had just started. I made like $14,000. When I started, it wasn't about the money. Again, it will be about the money in the end when you get paid, but when you start, when you have a transaction, it's not about how much you're gonna make, in my opinion. It's how you're gonna help the people, and the money will come in. When you bring that energy, when you add value, when you care about people, when you provide resources, right? This person, the seller, was giving up because no one would help him. He trusted me. He gave me a chance. I don't take that lightly. When someone gives you an opportunity, they trust you. You can't take chances with that. They can go with someone else. So when we found the elderly tenant a property to move to another rental, I felt good about it, right? I was helping the tenant, the seller, everyone was feeling good about it. I felt good that I was helping people. So always add value and make sure that you follow up with people. It's so important. And then lastly, number 6, walk in like you own it, right? We talked about the warrior mindset. When you walk into an appointment, go in with pride, with courage, with knowledge, this expertise that you have. Be there for them to feel like you can lead them. You're gonna be the leader in this, because many times when you're walking in, people are also nervous. You're not the only one that could be nervous. The family, they could be going through stuff. With probate and trust, we go through things all the time that are unexpected. Family challenges, their spouse just died, or their daughter or son, or all these radical things. With probate, they're not choosing to sell the property. They have to sell it because the circumstances. So it all starts when you walk in the property. You have to have that warrior mindset. Whenever I get a new appointment, I give thanks. I give thanks for the opportunity. Literally, when I get the appointment, I hang up the phone and I give thanks. I'm gonna prepare for it. I'm gonna get the listing. I come in with that energy, right? But when I first start, I give thanks because every appointment could end up in something really wonderful for the family and for myself. On the day of that appointment, I give myself plenty of time. I don't run around, and I show up plenty of time. I park outside. I continue to prepare for my appointment. Maybe I watch a video, a positive video. So when I go in there, I'm not flustered and I'm not overwhelmed. I bring in the positivity. I know that I'm gonna get the listing. So I have the mindset. So when you walk in, you know you deserve it. You deserve the opportunity because you prepared. People will feel that and will go with that vibe. You have the eye contact, the posture, the smile. You greet them. You're dressed accordingly, right? It's very stressful sometimes for all parties. and it could be nerve-wracking for all parties. So just coming in with the confidence and understanding that you own it, that you're the best one for that job. And even if you don't get it, right? Because that happens, it's happened to me, you still have that energy and you're not going to let the situation affect you so much. In fact, I'll give you an example. I had a client who had 4 properties. The estate was worth, I think, like 10 million, right? So it would be good commission. It was when I first started. And she called me and said, hey, I found someone that has more experience. She's all these wonderful things. So when she told me, I was super heartbroken because I wanted the opportunity. After she said that, I said, is there anything that I can do? She said, no, she's it. And I said, thank you so much for calling me and giving me the opportunity to speak with you. I wish you the best. If there's anything that I can do in the future, it sounds like you have a great agent or a great broker, right? I never talked poorly about the other person. I didn't ask questions about her. I just said, or asked, what is she gonna do for you? And 1 week later, same person called me back and said, that agent wasn't what I thought she was. She wasn't knowledgeable and skilled like you. I decided I'm gonna give you the listing. So I was super excited, right? I'm like, yay, thank you so much, because I mean, really, it's when I started, so I wasn't making much money. So I'm like, anything helps. And I also wanted the opportunity, right? Because I didn't look at how much I was gonna make, but I knew right at the end you get paid, and that's what I was hoping on. I was so excited, and she said, I'm giving you the opportunity because you are knowledgeable, you have the skills, you're an expert in this field, and you were so kind when I said you weren't gonna get it. You didn't respond negatively. I was so positive about not having the opportunity, and I learned a lot from my conversation that day. Even if you don't get the opportunity, you can ask the client, why not you? Why didn't they select you? Why not you? And they'll tell you. So she came back to me and I sold the 4 properties. So you never know how things will come back and everything is working in your favor. Maybe it's not this transaction or this listing or this opportunity with this client, but you have to respond in a positive, meaningful way so they know that you're the one. So I do believe that these steps will help you. So before even getting that list of leads or going to the courthouse or calling people or meeting people in person, you have to get the mindset down. If you don't have that, you're not going to make it at the appointment. So you have to be prepared and you have to understand what people are looking for. I'm telling you this because I sold 6 homes in 36 days. So it's really important that we address the mindset thing and we understand our value and we come in with that energy so people could see it, could feel us, and understand that we are the one. My specialty is probate and trust. That's all I do every day, all day. So if you have any questions about getting leads related to probate and trust or anything that you want to know about probate and trust real estate, put it at the comments. I'm going to be sharing more information. I'm going to be hopefully helping other agents get into this industry because I want to share my knowledge. I want to share my skills. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and let me know if there's anything else that I could help you with.